Hello, everybody. A little spotlight news over the weekend. As we all know, here in the villages and a lot of parts of Florida, we have been in a terrible drought for quite a while. Well, Mother Nature is starting to flip the game. Over this past weekend, several tornado warnings were issued out for southern parts of Florida, resulting in several tornadoes that have touched ground. As you can see here, cars have been flipped, tumbled around like toy vehicles. No match for the power and the strength of tornadoes, as some of these violent storms rip through southern Florida. Strong violent winds replicating hurricane force winds can be seen here in this video footage. If you didn't know any better, you would have thought that was a hurricane. With lots of rainfall, strong winds, hail damage, tornadoes. Here's a picture in this video footage of a tornado, the low-lying clouds. You can see some of the damage that was done, ripping this tree to shreds. Large branches laying in the ground on top of vehicles. In this little video footage, you can see a lot of debris in the road from the strong winds and the rain blowing everything everywhere. As cars tried to navigate the way in this weather authorities had issued tornado warnings in many of these parts of Florida, advising people just to stay home, do not go out of their homes, seek shelter. As you can see, flying debris and stuff like this can be quite hazardous. But people don't listen most of the time, and they still want to get out in their cars and ride around. I think for many of these people who just went through this, it just had to remind them of the last hurricane that just ripped through. They're destroying Fort Myers, Florida, and other areas in that location. The force of the winds can be quite strong. Mother Nature, she's a powerful force to be reckoned with. As these winds blow through, there's a car that's rolling right there, a white vehicle that had just been flipped from the force of the winds as these tornadoes come through. Here's some more destruction. Cars piled up from the force of the winds as the storm moved across Florida. Extensive amount of damages. Cars piled up on top of one another. Here, somebody captured in this video footage a tornado. You can see the vortex moving across the screen. The National Weather Service had issued tornado warnings in many parts of Florida. As many of these tornadoes came through, uprooting trees, throwing trees around, landing on top of the cars, damaging everything, just ripping them up like as if they weren't even there. Even in the villages, we were issued tornado watches. As many of us sat home here in the villages, we got a lot of rain, a lot of strong wind actually over the weekend, especially on Sunday, but it was nothing compared to some of the southern parts of Florida. A lot of debris flying around as cars are having to stop almost to a standstill on the interstate as things fly around. Right off here in the distance, you can see a tornado off in the background. Tornadoes, although you can see them most of the time, except for maybe at night, are quite violent, even stronger, more powerful than a hurricane. The thing about tornadoes, though, they are isolated areas where a hurricane is just very widespread, of course. Now, I don't know how many times I found myself in this situation during a hard thunderstorm or good hard rain. A situation such as this, trying to look out your window can be quite difficult and extremely hazardous. Check out the force of the wind as this car goes rolling down. The National Weather Service had issued multiple tornado watches and warnings for southern parts of Florida over the weekend. Even for Central Florida, we had received tornado watches, strong gusts of wind, rainy conditions, pretty much across the whole state of Florida. And even though we were suffering a dry spell there for a while, we needed the rain and the moisture. But I think southern Florida has seen enough damage already.
Welcome to Florida, people.